Welcome back to my channel, Professor Paul's Nuggets. I'm much relaxed to go back to what I do best, that is teaching. And so I'm going to engage further with learners, students, particularly in the universities today in this video. I have talked about working smart, not to say people shouldn't work harder or hard at all, but let's focus on working smarter. So today, I'm going to continue to motivate you and to say that you all have the potential to be successful. The research, sometimes I feel that there is a need to take out the fear from out of learning because what happens to a lot of learners, students, is that they are cruciated by or just chained down by fear, the fear of not succeeding. The first thing to do is for everyone is to take that fear out and believe in yourself. Of course, believe in your God, but also have some belief in yourself that you will succeed in life. That whatever you take on, you will be able to succeed in it. So that fear typically goes deepest when it is time for assessment. Some students simply go blank when you talk about any kind of assessment, particularly exams. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is to prepare yourself well. But most importantly, also be aware of some of the processes, what you need to do, the tricks that you need to play around in dealing with your assessments. And if you do that, then you find that studying is not as difficult as it is, and that everyone can succeed. So ensure that you attend lectures. It is now so common to do online courses, and also think about attending classes virtually and taking, maybe listening to videos later. None of that is bad. Doing things virtually or listening to recorded videos is not a bad idea, but I think it is best, to me, it is best to be there during the time that these lectures are delivered. If only for the fact that you are going to make a better use of your time. Come to think of it, if you are not attending lectures while the lectures are ongoing because you think you'll be listening to the lectures later, what exactly are you doing while these lectures are ongoing? Just ask yourself, are you sleeping? Or are you in town? Are you on social media? Are you chatting with friends? If you are doing any of those things, then I don't think you are making good use of your time. You should try to be there when the lectures are ongoing. Because during lectures, you will see that students ask questions. Lecturers pop in questions that were not recorded as part of the lectures, and they give explanations. Other students participate and explain some of these things that are posed in questions. So you are going to miss out largely if you are not there and they are not all properly recorded. Because sometimes as lecturers, when we do those video recordings, we edit them again before releasing them. But if you were there live, then you will get everything that is covered for the day or for the hour. And so it is important to be there. And that way you'll be better prepared for your assessments. So, but today I'm just going to touch on how to deal with essays. Essays are quite popular as assessment items. There are several types of assessment items that are deployed. in universities now. You have the quizzes, you have normal tests, you have reflection journals, etc. But essays are common, and they test your knowledge of an understanding, because you are going to weave together a lot of ideas to show whether you properly understand these things and how connected they are. So the first thing too, when studying, as I have already said, is to get support. The lecturers are there for you. Lecturers would not be there in a university if there are no students. Actually, there will be no support staff. So everybody is there to support you to be successful. So make use of the staff, but also make use of your own colleagues. As I have said, work in groups. Some universities have different networks that ensure that students can work together. And sometimes they actually bring in other students who know a topic or an area better than the average student. So they ask these students to help to support the other students. Try to get involved in some of those networks, especially where you think you are deficient. Don't shy away from participating. And then, okay, when we look at essays, as I've said, they are commonly used in universities, and they are there to test your understanding of what is being taught and how they are related to each other. The first thing to be aware of is the submission date, the time that has been given for that essay. Always indicate when it is due, because sometimes universities can be very rich. Some universities are rigid. They could go as far as giving a 0 for an essay that is submitted late. And also copying. Any kind of copying or anything that connotes cheating is frowned upon. So it is very important to learn to summarize things, to paraphrase, that is put things around in other ways, and also to check or quote, indicate that you are quoting somebody, and then you would get out of any accusations of cheating or plagiarism. There are all kinds of similarity software that can be used to check your essay too, to ensure that you are not caught out. But there will be a limit to what you can get from other sources without necessarily acknowledging them, but it should be very, very minimal. And universities do set the rules around those. So do not break those rules. Otherwise, you could lose marks. And not only lose marks, there have been instances where students are expelled from university because of cheating. And then how do you go about writing a good essay? My number one thing would be to read the questions or instructions, not once, but at least 2 times or more, to see that you fully understand what the essay requires you to do. And once you have done that, my other advice is to choose the easiest topic. If there is a range of more than one topic given for you to choose from, please do not try to be too clever. Do not choose the hardest topic. Believe me, I have seen students do that. And I possibly must have tried to do those kinds of things when I was a teenager. It doesn't help. You can read the hard topics to support yourself and to claim that you know this, you know that, but don't try to over-impress the lecturers, because if you choose a very hard topic, you are going to struggle to deliver on it, and that is going to reduce your marks considerably. So choose the easiest question and deal with it, or topic and deal with it. Regardless of whether the essay is a review or not, I suggest you read a few literature material before you write your essay. And then what I also notice students fail to do is lack of planning. You need to plan your essay. Yeah, your essay needs to be planned into clear sections, coherent, that progress, sections that progress from one item to another, not just writing, because that is part of the essay. You don't start talking from the end. You start talking in a logical sense from beginning to the end, how things would happen. I think a classical example that we used to laugh about when we were doing animal science was students answering that if a disease happens, then the animal dies, number one. The animal dies, and then it begins to have fever. And a dead animal doesn't have fever. So you need to be logical in your presentation of ideas and thoughts. The other one is to proofread before submitting. I've also noticed that students simply write quickly and then submit. And sometimes they do this maybe because today or tomorrow is the deadline. So they don't have the time to proofread. Just missing a word can completely change your statement. If you were meant to say not do this and you drop out the not, it becomes a different thing altogether. And that is a wrong answer or a wrong statement. So please give yourself time to proofread. I suggest finishing the essay in time, keeping it aside for a few days before proofreading. Because that way you don't read your mind. When we read essays or things like that, sometimes we are seeing things that are not there. They are in our brain and we think they are on the paper. So please give yourself some time to proofread. Better still, swap your essay with another student that you trust or somebody, another senior person who is not doing the course with you to try and proofread it for you. But the issue of planning the essay is so important. The planning, or I'm talking about, is an outline. So you would have an outline of headings and subheadings. Just on their own, just the bare structure, the skeleton. And when you look at that structure, you will be able to know whether the essay would flow or not. If you see that this topic does not flow from the last one, then it is time to turn them around and before you start writing at all. It's also, I would suggest to learners to check the internet and learn writing skills, especially the use of topic sentences. Topic sentences introduce paragraphs and topics, as that is what they are supposed to do. And they need to be very clear and clean, maybe academic in nature. You don't start topic sentences by saying this topic is about rice production in so country. Rather, you could say rice is a staple food of this country, and its production is of highly economic need for the country, something like that. But don't say this essay is about this and that. That is not a good topic sentence. Then the other thing that I suggest learners learn about is the thesis statement or objectives of the essay that you are writing. They need to be clear. The final thing, or just before I end this, is to look at the structure itself. A good essay should have an introduction, then the body, and a conclusion. How do you write the introduction? The introduction is so important. I will try to talk about it more deeply at some point in future. But this is where you introduce your essay, and it consists of answering silent questions as to what, when, how, when, and why. You don't put them down, but write them. What is this going to be about? Why is it important? When did this happen? Where is it happening? Why is it important? Once you answer those questions, you are through with the introduction. What I've noticed with some learners is they write introductions by simply copying things from somewhere and dumping them. That is not a good introduction. Answer the what, when, how, why, where questions. And by the time you finish, you will just be having a very strong objective of the essay to put down. Then the body is where you have the relevant headings and subheadings divided into the different things that you are covering. And of course, the conclusion needs to be straight to the point, not repeating what you have already said over and over again. And so, if you follow these guides or guidelines, you are going to always come out with a winning essay. But do check, there's a lot of resources, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time beating the path again. Lots of resources on YouTube that I'm aware of. So try to check on them, especially how to write academic essays, the topic sentence, and the thesis statement. I will again drop my LinkedIn page so that you can look up some things there. Although I know a lot of what I wrote about in the recent past or distant past before I started becoming a little bit more administrative was of postgraduate nature, but it is postgraduates that write a lot of the essays anyway. So I'm going to end here and wish you all the best with your studies. Be courageous, trust in yourself, and believe that you will be succeeding. See you again. Do subscribe and like this video. Bye for now.